Everybody. So today, the title of this video is "The Devil Does Not Need You to Be Evil. He just needs you to be distracted." So originally, this video was going to be like everything I learned from this book, and I started writing down in my notes, and I figured this video would probably be like closer to an hour or even longer than that. And I also was thinking like I'd like you guys to read this on your own. I don't really want to kind of give you all the answers to the test on this, and I haven't obviously been able to pull every answer from this. There's a lot of knowledge that I just haven't been able to pick up yet from this book, and I'll probably end up rereading it again one day. So I really encourage you to read this, and I'm not going to try to give you much spoilers at all, but quick, like brief summary to kind of get you some context. This book is about two devils. They're riding towards each other, how to best tempt this one man, and that they throw all types of things at him. They throw war, lust, all these things. And the key idea of it, or one of the key points of this book that I pulled from it, is their whole thing they're trying to do is just distract him from the Lord and pull him away from His presence. And I mean, they don't need to have these over the top schemes and attacks on him, because that'd just be unnecessary. All they need to do is distract him spiritually. So my favorite quote that I'm kind of basing this video off of is, "The safest road to hell is the gradual one." So evil / the devil is very subtle. At times we make tiny compromises. We get distracted, whether that's social media, that's women, if that's a sport, a hobby, anything. Anything can distract you. If that's video games, if that's anything. And then through this distraction, our normal becomes different than what it was, and we begin to build bad habits. So in this book, like I said before, the humans they're constantly pulled away from the present moment, and the devil continuously tries to pull them away from being present in that moment and being present with the Lord. Being distracted makes you focus on the past or the future, and when you're focusing on the past, a lot of times your mind can be filled with regret or guilt or nostalgia. And now the regret and the guilt, those are very negative thoughts. And let me give you an example. Let's say I regret something that happened in the past, and you start to think like, oh, why didn't God pull me out of this? Why was God not there when I was going through all this stuff? So then you start to blame God, and then you start to blame God. And then nostalgia, which is a positive thing relatively, you start to say, hey, my life was really great 5 years ago, and I had no relationship with God at all. And then you're like, well, my relationship with God is great right now, but I'm not prospering at all. So why do I need God? Why shouldn't I just need myself? So those are the thoughts that can kind of creep into your mind when you're only focusing on the past. And then you look at the future, when you're only worried about the future and you're not present in the present moment, anxiety can creep in. Fear and anxiousness about the future is a result of not being present in the present moment. We can't control what happens in the next year. We really can't. And if we can, then okay, then let's work on trying to control that. But being anxious is a direct result of not being present in this moment. I mean, obviously there's medical anxiety and stuff like that, but I'm saying anxiousness can be self-inflicted when we're not. When we're extremely forward-thinking, we can cause anxiety on ourselves, and we also tend to build unrealistic scenarios that we plan and plan and plan for this to happen, and it doesn't happen. It falls through, and then we have no plan, and we just feel broken, and we feel like, what's going to happen? And we tend to stray away from God's plan and take God's plan and turn it into our own plan. When we think so forwardly, and when we are so forward thinking, or we think so much in the past, our convictions, we don't feel them as much because we're not even thinking about what's going on right now. We're thinking so far in the past or so far in the future that our convictions change, and we're not feeling the same convictions as we used to feel. And we slowly redefine what is normal. We start to justify what may have happened in the past, or justify what we're currently doing, or justify what we might do in the future. And we start to make small little moral compromises in our relationship, in our walk. So the internal problem, and I'm going to pull up James really quick. And we're going to be in James chapter 1, verse 8. He says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So when you're double-minded, you're thinking about present, but you're also thinking about the future a lot. You're distracted. Part of you wants God, but part of you wants the comfort of your own plan in the future. Whether that's, hey, I'm focused on graduating high school right now, but my plan is to do all this stuff in college, have this exact same plan, and when it doesn't work out, I'm going to have nothing. That's part of you wants God, but then also part of you wants what you want, not what God has intended for you. So that's the internal problem that we face when the devil tries to pull us away from being present in this present moment. And now you might ask, okay, that's the problem. Now what is the solution? Now we look to Ephesians 5:15 and 16. Be very careful, then, how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Time wasted is a distraction. When we waste time, we're missing on spiritual growth. We're missing on discipling others. We're missing on a lot of things that we should be doing as Christians. So it is very important to kind of be accountable with yourself and kind of have a self-check-in and pay attention to how your walk is going and where your thoughts are going. And when you have forward-thinking thoughts, you have to be able to take them captive and be able to trust God's plan along with it. Or if you are having thoughts of the past, I'm not saying that having thoughts of the past is necessarily a bad thing, but having them a lot more than you usually would, or repeated, or you're kind of dwelling in the past, that's when it starts to become a problem. So pay attention to your walk. Start to take those thoughts captive when they are kind of eating at you. If that's you miss an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, or if you something happened traumatic in your past, and it's just weighing on you. Take that thought captive, pray about it, give it to the Lord. Go rest in the presence of the Lord. Go rest in Scripture. Instead of dwelling on the past, instead of making up these fake scenarios like, oh, well, what if we ended up still being together? Or what if I didn't do this? Or what if this didn't happen? Because when you do that, then it's just like you're causing all these troubles on yourself. And you're straying away. You're becoming distracted. So make sure your brain, your soul, your spirit, everything is not on autopilot. And that everything you are taking captive. If you aren't intentional with your walk, then you will drift. And I think that's a very common thing for Christians, is that when we aren't taking these thoughts captive, when we're not intentional, that a lot of times our minds will drift, and we will drift away from the Lord. And these are attacks from the devil, and they're very, very good, because a lot of times we do fall into these breadcrumbing tricks and schemes from the devil, where he'll throw little tiny pieces of temptation at us, and we start to make compromises, and at first it's not bad, and then we start to slowly stray away from the Lord. So yes, biggest thing is take every thought captive. Don't allow the devil to slowly creep in and slowly lead you away and distract you from being in the presence of the Lord. Because when you're in the presence of the Lord, that's the greatest thing ever. And you will feel the most fulfilled when you're in the presence of the Lord. And take the thoughts captive when you are extremely forward thinking or extremely past thinking, or if you're thinking in the past and wishing things were different, or hoping things will be better, or hoping that your way will happen. Take those thoughts captive. And I recommend this week that when you encounter these thoughts, just try it. When you encounter these thoughts, take it captive. Think about it. Think about, hey, this is maybe I'm trusting myself more than I'm trusting the Lord. Pray about it, and then rest in the Scripture. So thank you guys so much for watching. I was gonna get this video out a lot earlier, but then we had Easter weekend. I was spending time with the family, so I want to try to be more consistent with this. But I'm gonna try to get out a video a week, at least. I'm probably gonna post some vlogs too, kind of switch it up a little bit. But I want to get these talking videos out at least once a week, and kind of just give you some wisdom that I've accrued over time, and I want to share that with you guys. So thank you guys for watching. I'm also going to try to keep these videos short. I want them to be like under 13 minutes, because I know time is extremely valuable, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to try to get to the point, and yeah. Also, I know it's at the end of the video, but make sure you subscribe, like the channel, share it with all your friends. So yeah, thank you for watching.